Nigerian International Monetary Fund intensified discussions on economic reforms and growth plans for 2026-2030. Oil gains on optimism as U.S. government to reopen soon. South Korea's Kospi leads Asia recovery rally after AI failed rout last week. You're welcome to Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Musa Abubakar, your guide. Let's bring you up to speed with business development. As the global economy moves towards reform-oriented and resilient growth, Nigeria continues to establish itself as a prominent advocate for evidence-based policy making and inclusive economic transformation. Reflecting this momentum, a high-level delegation from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, led by its Assistant Director of the African Department, met with Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, in Abuja to discuss Nigeria's ongoing reforms, medium-term outlook, and preparations for the 2026-2030 National Development Plan. The visit is part of the IMF's consultative mission to review Nigeria's fiscal priorities, macroeconomic framework, and reform trajectory ahead of the IMF's subsequent country report. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has approved Ila Lakes PLC's plan to launch a 235 billion naira public offer, marking a major milestone in the company's ongoing expansion and growth drive. Announcing the approval at the press conference in Lagos, the company's managing director, Chuka Modi, described the development as a vote of confidence in Ila Lake's vision to transform Nigeria's agricultural sector through sustainable and integrated farming initiatives. Modi explained that the capital raise will be used to strengthen the company's balance sheet, expand its agribusiness operations, and enhance value creation for shareholders. Now, the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, ABCON, has called for support and empowerment of licensed Bureau de Change operators to strengthen foreign exchange inflows and stabilize the naira during the upcoming festive season. ABCON President Dr. Aminu Gwadebe, who made the appeal, noted BDCs as the closest link to retail forex users could play a vital role in capturing more diaspora remittances and enhancing liquidity in the market. He highlighted that a significant portion of foreign exchange enters the country towards the end of the year as Nigerians in the diaspora return home for the festive season, a period popularly known as Dirty December. Now, the Nigerian currency broke a key resistance path against the British pound sterling as the local currency maintained its bullish run against the British pound since last month. The British pound sterling and naira pair exchange rates in the interbank and official market settled at about 1,885 to 1,890 naira to a pound. Foreign exchange rates have varied slightly, falling between 1,877 and 1,896 naira per pound. Rates in the parallel markets were slightly higher due to premiums but stabilized below the 1,950 naira to a pound mark. Now, how much is the naira exchange in further currencies? Let's see. The German business community is collaborating with the federal government with a view to export labor, build capacity and transform skills. Transfer skills rather. This is as the federal government looks towards achieving a $1 trillion economy by the year 2030. Benny Adams reports that this was at a meeting between the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning at the German Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Abuja.
We often hear about German machines, which is in the automobile business, high technology of the Germans. But today, the Germans in here are saying it's beyond high tech, but also the infusion of artificial intelligence is taking the German economy to the next level. And they want the same for the Nigerian government. Behind that closed door is the federal government, the German Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce, discussing on how Nigerian youth can get to travel to Germany to learn how the German economy works through technology, as well as training in the hospitality business.
We had 24 industries represented, including automotive, banking and insurance, consulting, mining and minerals, retail, renewable energy, financial services, financial investors, wholesale, healthcare, trade, ICT, and other services like tourism or transport.
Nigeria have a huge absorptive capacity, especially in technologies that German companies and skilled German workers have in abundance, which we believe can help in generating this growth in a mutually beneficial manner. We want German companies, small, medium, and big, to play a bigger role in Nigeria.
And now to our discussion segment. The Chamber of Industry and Commerce, IHK, Gießen-Freiburg, Germany reaffirmed its long-standing commitment to strengthening vocational training, institutional development, and private sector cooperation with Nigeria. This follows 2 decades of sustained partnership between the German Chamber of Commerce and key Nigerian institutions in promoting youth skills development, entrepreneurship, and international business collaboration. Now, to shed more light on the economic benefits, we have joining us virtually from Lagos, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber, Dr. Matthias Leder. You are welcome to Business Express.
Good afternoon, Musa Abubakar. It's a great opportunity for me to talk. Thank you.
Well, the pleasure is same pleasure here. Well, to begin the conversation, in the last 1 week, to begin the conversation, just give us a picture of the areas which you're partnering with Nigeria.
Well, the first is the International B2B Conference, The World Meets in Gießen, which is dedicated for small and medium-sized company. The second is the legal labor migration from Nigeria to Germany. And the third topic is dual vocational training and strengthening the Nigerian chambers. So I would end the fourth which is connected with strengthening the Nigerian chamber, is a chamber partnership program. So in a way, we can say it's 3 to 4 projects with very concrete results.
Okay, you said the partnership is like 20 years old. Can you tell us what prompted this renewed commitment at this time?
Well, you see, you're absolutely right. It's 20 years old, and there have been several projects going on. And we are twice a year we are both in Abuja and in Lagos, and we have several partners. First of all, we have the federal ministers, the ministries, the honorable ministers. And it is always a twofold. First, to inform about the progress, and then to check how we can increase both in scale and in scope.
Okay, how do you plan to adapt this model to, I mean, Germany's dual, let's talk about Germany's dual vocational training system, which is often described as one of the best in the world. How do you plan to adapt this model to fit Nigeria's local realities where infrastructure and industry participation are often somehow limited?
Well, we have already done it from the years 2012 till 2019. We have collaborated with NASIMA, with LCCI, and Ogunsima, and we have worked in 4 subjects. I will just get it. So we have worked in the fields of industrial electronics, industrial mechanic, technical facility management, and office administrations. During these 6-7 years, we had more than 300 trainers, and we had more than 300 registered trainees. And to tell you just one additional number, more than 95% of these young apprentices got a job offer or could make a huge advanced career step. So it takes you time to install it. What I learned when I came to Nigeria is you have to bring time with yourself. So you have to talk with the partners, which are the Nigerian chambers. We had to talk with ITF. We had to talk with the ministries. Yes, and by collaboration, you finally succeed. To tell you one further thing, the difference between dual vocational training and vocational training is very crucial. In vocational training, you visit a school all the time. Dual vocational training means from the very first day, an apprenticee makes a contract with the companies 2/3 of the time. He or she stays in the company. Only 1/3 of the time, the vocational training school is visited. So it is very practice-oriented, the dual vocational training, and the apprentices get the immediate feedback from the market. Because if they do a lousy job in the company, the clients of the company will give an immediate feedback. So this means the companies have to be up to the state, and we, as the chamber, as we are responsible for organizing dual vocational training, we also have to be state of the art. And like this, the system is very innovative. It's a process of innovation, and it keeps us always staying top of the notch.
Okay, some critics argue that many international partnerships sound promising at the start but lose momentum over time. What specific mechanisms are being put in place to ensure that this cooperation remains sustainable and impactful in the long time?
You see, first of all, you have to be patient and you have to sacrifice your own time because you believe in a better future. This is why it's my personal compassion to be twice a year in Nigeria. If you talk with the persons, they get the notion, hey, this is some reliable guy. And vice versa, during the last years, we had the lovely opportunity to getting known Al-Hajj, the former Minister of Culture and Information. And Al-Hajj Lai Mohammed also meets us in Germany at the B2B conference, The World Meets in Gießen. He already has been keynote speaker and he has been a panelist. And likewise, when we are in Nigeria, he cares wonderfully for us. So he opens also the doors for the ministries. And you see, this is a great honor when we meet such a fantastic person as, for instance, Honorable Minister Atiku Bagudu. And of course, this also gives us a great incentive to work on the projects. And we are already looking forward to next April and to next November. So we already have plans through the next year. We will be twice in Nigeria. And And you see, of course, it's my personal compassion and also of my team that we stay together with Nigeria. You see, it always depends on the people. And we have the great luck that we meet wonderful people in Nigeria, and this is good. And you see, better institutions, they rely on personal relationship and like-minded people. So this is exactly what I told you, and we have this great luck.
Okay, how will this particular partnership help Nigeria to achieve its $1 trillion economy by 2030? Where do you see this partnership, helping Nigeria?
Well, one key instrument is international trade. You see, the economies that are growing, they are growing by international trade. And this was one of the basic ideas of the international B2B conference, the World Meets in Gießen, that has started 3 years ago. And the idea is bring together companies, let them do the pitching and let them then later do the matching. And the matching is supported by artificial intelligence. So it is companies there. There are ambassadors. There are ministers. And in order to increase the demand and the participation, we also will offer now side events. So I've talked to the ambassador of Ivory Coast this year. We meet him also 2-3 times a year. We have been in Ivory Coast this year. They want to book and organize a side event. They want to present themselves, their country, and present the major 7 clusters. And the same will be done by Nigeria. And we also have asked Honorable Minister Abubakar Atiku Bagudo if he will become the keynote speaker. He was very glad about being asked, and hopefully we will have him as a keynote speaker representing Africa. And you see, one very good message is we gave 30 Nigerian companies access to come to the World Meets in Gießen 2025. For them, it's a wonderful opportunity. As you may have heard, there is an even bigger international B2B conference, the World Economic Forum in Davos, but it's too expensive. You have to pay an annual fee of 15,000 Swiss francs. We just charge for a couple of hundreds.
Well, beyond this, training program, is the partnership actually looking at promoting technology transfer as well as industrial linkages between Germany and Nigerian companies?
You see, we have started this year with hospitality sector. Out of 350 people in a 2-stage competition, we have selected 18 students who are now learning German. And next year, they will go to Germany in order to participate at the 3-year dual vocational training. They afterwards either may stay in Germany or they will return to Nigeria, and they are perfectly quite young people. And if this works out, we want to increase it both in scale and in scope. This means in numbers, but also in the areas that will be trained. This is one concrete step. Another concrete step could be, together with HK, Nigeria here, to draw dual vocational training. Of course, this also requires that Nigerian chambers, in the end, are capable to take it over. You see, when I make a project here in Nigeria, for me, it's always important that it is sustainable. That means the Nigerian people take the project over, and we Germans, we phase out by time.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Matthias Lader. In fact, there's a lot of questions which I want to ask you, but I'm afraid we have to leave it here. It's been a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you so much, Musa Abubakar. Thank you.
And now, since the beginning of the second quarter of this year, the consistent decline in inflation rates combined with the decrease in prices of foodstuff has significantly boosted the confidence of Nigerians on the economic reforms introduced by the federal government since the inception of this administration. Residents of Enugu testify to the relief and gladness the changing economic landscape has brought to them. Susan Eze has the report.
Inflation figures from the National Bureau of Statistics in recent times have not only brought fresh hopes to Nigerians, but also represent a positive change and relief from the gloomy economic narrative that has plagued the nation in the past. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the inflation rates have consistently been on the decline since April 2025.
Gary now, a bag is, you can get it for 40 something, 30 something. Before, as of last month or last 2 months, it was 60 something.
Like granite oil, the price is okay. But not only this red oil, and that one is too costly now.
According to analysts, the drop in food prices has been a major contributor to the significant decline in Nigeria's overall inflation rate, noting that the fall to 18.02% in September 2025 is the lowest in 3 years. They maintain that the disinflation trend reflects gains from economic reforms, as the price reduction in staple foods leads to more disposable cash for households, improved standard of living. The disinflation trend has also earned the government more support for its policies, while investors' business confidence is rising.
Some things are affordable. We thank God for that. Let them be continue like that, so as we people can afford it. So we thank God. They are trying.
Those we that are sellers, then people that are buying from us, they're also feeling better.
In order to consolidate the current gains and sustain the disinflation momentum, experts suggest enhanced food security and agricultural productivity, reduced logistics, production, transport, and energy costs.
And now to capital markets. Stock market loss hits 2.8 trillion naira. Lanka has the report.
NGX all-share index and market capitalization depreciated by 2.99% to close the week at 149,524.81 basis points and 94.9 trillion naira. A total turnover of 3.575 billion shares worth 107.011 billion naira in 146,429 deals were traded last week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 2.946 billion shares valued at 65.904 billion naira in 62,817 deals, contributing 82.39% and 61.59% to the total equity turnover in volume and value. The services industry followed with 147.325 million shares worth 1.511 billion naira in 7,656 deals, while the third place was the consumer goods industry with a turnover of 147.307 million shares worth 11.195 billion naira in 18,644 deals. Trading in the top three equities, Fidelity Bank, FCMB Group, and ASO Savings and Loans PLC accounted for 1.288 billion shares worth 19.300 billion naira in 11,536 deals. A total of 375,088 units of ETPs valued at 31.782 million naira were traded in 561 deals. At the bonds market, a total of 30,733 units valued at 31.360 million naira were traded in 21 deals. On summary of price changes, 20 equities appreciated in price during the week, 75 equities depreciated in price, while 51 equities remained unchanged. Olayinka Ojo for Business Express.
Now let's join Maria for Global Stocks Update. Maria, it's over to you.
Thank you, Musa. Across the globe, the mood is positive, although markets are reacting to hope rather than uncertainty. Looking at the figures, the Looking at the figures, Europe rallied at the start of the new trading week as a deal on funding package that could end the U.S. government shutdown appears to be getting closer. Looking at the figures, we have DAX of Germany at 0.9% higher. FTSE of the UK was also up 0.08%. CAC of France reflects at 0.2%. Looking at Asia, markets traded higher after artificial intelligence valuation concerns fueled declines in market across the region last week. The figures show that the Nikkei 225 of Japan is at 1.26%. We have Shanghai Composite of mainland China at 0.53% or 4,018. Looking at Hang Seng Index of Hong Kong, it's at 1.55% or 26,649. In the United States, stock futures rise after Senate lawmakers took a critical step towards a potential deal to end the historic U.S. government shutdown. The Dow jumps 0.16%, S&P 500 follows at 0.13%, Nasdaq Composite reflects at 0.21%, lower by 0.21%. Looking at Africa, trades are mixed. We have South Africa JSE top 40 higher at 2.23%. Tunisia 10 index follows at 0.52%. We have Namibia also in green at 0.21%. While in red, we have Kenya at 0.43% and Ghana following at 0.03%. That's global market for Monday afternoon. I am Maria Auduzaka. It's back to Musa.
Oh, that's it. Thank you, Maria, for that update. Well, this is where we end this edition of Business Express. We value your feedback, so keep the comments, observations, and suggestions coming. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTS channel. Business Express returns tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.